Okay, so I'm going to talk briefly about some of the changes that are coming into Rift now that we know it's going free to play on June the 12th. One of the biggest misconceptions, and something that I myself also missed, is the sort of three different types of players that are being introduced into the game. Before I thought there would just be free players and subscribers, but it turns out there are a few others. So let me start off. Bag space. Free players that have never played Rift before will be able to have 3 bag slots. And this includes your main bag slot, so you'll be able to hold an additional 2 bags. Although this sounds like a bad thing, you have to remember that you also get bank space as well as guild bank space if you make a guild. And you actually get an awful amount of space to put stuff into your bank. So the only downside to being a free player in this case is that you won't be able to carry as much when you're out questing. People who have previously bought a copy of Rift and are returning will have 5 bag slots, which is the maximum, meaning that returning players won't get penalised since they've already put money into the game via the purchasing of Rift. This is also the same for owners of Storm Legion. Treon are not actually adding extra bag slots and the maximum is 5, so you do get the maximum amount. Now onto character slots. A character slot is consumed whenever you create a character regardless of level. Free players will only be able to have 2 characters at any time, so that's 2 character slots. It makes sense, seeing as free players want to add additional characters. They can actually do it via the in-game store, where you will be able to purchase character slots individually. Rift owners and Storm Legion owners, however, will get the full 6, as you could think of it as a reward for the loyalty pledged in the past as well. When Storm Legion came out, 4 new souls were added to the game, 1 extra for each class. I must stress that only owners of Storm Legion will have these expansion souls available to them on launch for free. And if you want to get these extra souls, you will have to buy them in the in-game store. So if you previously owned Rift but you haven't owned Storm Legion, I'm really sorry, you actually won't be able to get them, the expansion souls, for free. However, it's not really that bad because you wouldn't have had them anyway if you play the game Rift at the moment and you don't have Storm Legion, so yeah. But you are actually able to buy the expansion souls in the in-game store if you feel like that's something you would like. The Rift store that's coming into the game will actually have all sorts of items, and not just all being sold for credits either. It's a lot of items in the store will be available to buy with Platinum. However, you got to remember that, you know, because Rift is going free to play, there's a lot of stuff that isn't going to be available to buy for Platinum because they do need to keep money coming in and keeping the servers running. The in-game gold system, meaning that like free players are able to actually have a chance to purchase this, will be available for all the top end gear. So I'm not saying that all the top end gear will be able to be bought with Platinum. I'm saying the top tier of sort of every set will only be available for Platinum. There is no way to buy that gear with credits, so unfortunately you actually are going to still have to work for it if you want to buy it. You know, if you're thinking of just being able to buy the gear with credits, you actually can't. Yeah, you have to buy it with Platinum. I don't think this really makes the game pay to win, but it sort of offers players more choices. If you know, who wants to, if you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to be spending 3 months farming PvP gear, and having the option to buy maybe the 3rd tier down just for cash straight off is actually really nice. It helps people get into things that they maybe want to try differently instead of having this horrible steep incline. However, if you're a free player or you really like a challenge, go for it. You don't have to buy stuff in the store. That's the absolute beauty of it. The new store is actually going to also allow you to gift items to other players too, meaning that you have the ability to reward guildies and things like that with exclusive items. Say they've done well or they've got achievements and things like that, you can actually gift players items, so that's pretty cool. The subscribers model is actually being replaced with a patron system as well, allowing fans of the game to pay a monthly subscription like they do now and be able to get benefits for the whole month. Things like extra currency and XP boosts will allow players who are on Rift regularly to be able to achieve their goals a lot faster. I must stress that nothing available to patrons is game breaking, it's more just percentage increases, so free players are not really at a disadvantage here. It just takes a bit longer to get stuff. Also, I just want to briefly note that you can actually, if you don't feel like subscribing every month, you can actually buy patron passes in the in-game store for 3, 15 and 30 days. So actually, if you're a weekend warrior, you can buy a patron pass for 3 days, and it's going to work out a lot cheaper for you in the long run rather than actually subscribing. So I actually really like the fact they thought of that and have put it in. Loyalty is also the new system that's being introduced, allowing players to get rewards for spending money in the game. You can earn loyalty by purchasing or spending credits, as well as consuming Rex, and I'll get onto Rex in a second. If you've previously been subscribed to Rift, they are also backdating it, so you'll actually, if you've subscribed before, you'll get loyalty points for that. Now, the loyalty points don't really give you anything that's in terms of like crazy items to be able to sort of just push people into the ground with. A lot of it is cosmetic and sort of gimmicky things. If you get really high up into the loyalty tiers, you actually get exclusive dimensions and stuff, so you can actually you know, have these really cool dimensions that are only available to people who have a lot of loyalty. So yeah, there's some stuff available to players who are really loyal to the game, but seriously, if you're up into those brackets of loyalty, you have spent a lot of money in the game, and I think that is actually a pretty fair way to be able to reward people with exclusive items that don't necessarily give you an edge in the actual games in terms of stats, but more of just like cosmetic things that players can enjoy. So, Rex. It will serve as the middleman currency for free players, allowing you to exchange Rex for credits and loyalty. Players will be able to actually sell Rex on the auction house, meaning that prices will in large be dictated by players. You can purchase Rex with real money, and then you can either sell it for platinum or exchange it for credits. So that's a really good system actually. If you actually want platinum, you can buy Rex with real money and then sell it on the auction house. That is such a crazy idea. It's really good. You do have to remember though that obviously, because auction house prices can fluctuate, if everyone floods the market with Rex straight away, it's going to go down in price and you're not really going to get your money's worth. I personally would wait before putting it on the auction house if you are going to get platinum that way, because you're going to get a much better price for it in the long run.